Everyone thinks AI was an overnight success. Well, they're wrong. We're about to unlock the hidden 70-year history of AI. And you know what? It's all built on just two simple blueprints. So if you think that something like ChatGPT just appeared out of thin air, you are missing the real story. The truth is that overnight success was actually built on a handful of core ideas, these blueprints that were developed over decades of trial and error, and frankly, some brilliant insights. Look, most people treat AI like it's some kind of magic black box, unknowable. But today, we are going to tear that box wide open. We're going to demystify this whole thing by revealing the only two blueprints that really matter from its entire 70-year history. Okay, so here's the first blueprint. The early pioneers, they tried to build AI like a master detective solving a case. This era was called symbolic AI, and the core belief behind it was, beautifully simple. Intelligence can be programmed. The whole idea was, if you can just describe every feature of a problem with perfect, logical precision, a machine can solve it. And the method worked pretty much like this. First, you represent the entire world as symbols, kind of like pieces on a chessboard. Second, you define a really clear goal, like checkmate. And then finally, you just command the computer to search through every single possible path to find the one perfect solution. And you really have to appreciate the sheer optimism here. I mean, these pioneers genuinely believed they could crack the entire code of intelligence in a single summer workshop. Incredible. But this is the crucial point. This whole detective method was a genius at structured problems with clear rules. But it completely, totally broke down when it was faced with tasks that you and I find simple, like recognizing a friend in a crowd or just getting a joke. So to break through that wall, the pioneers had to basically throw out the entire rulebook. And this led them to the second blueprint. Instead of programming a detective, what if you could raise an AI that learns just like a child? And honestly, this was a massive fundamental shift in thinking. We went from trying to hand code intelligence line by painful line to trying to grow it from experience. This might be the single most important idea in AI's entire history. We stopped programming intelligence and we started growing it. Now, this new approach is powered by something called neural networks. Just think of them as incredibly simplified models of the human brain. They aren't given rules. They're shown millions and millions of examples, and they learn to recognize patterns all on their own. Just like a child eventually learns what a cat is after seeing hundreds of them. But here's the part that most people miss. This is the real twist in the story. This new learning-based approach, it uncovered a fascinating, strange contradiction at the very heart of what intelligence even is. This discovery is called Moravec's paradox, and it flips our entire understanding of what's hard and what's easy completely on its head. So let me ask you a question. What do you think is harder for an AI to do? Play chess at a world champion level, or just, pick up a pencil from a desk? Well, the answer is kind of shocking. AI finds the things we consider the absolute peak of human intellect, like proving math theorems and playing grandmaster chess, to be relatively easy. But it finds the things a toddler can do without even thinking, like walking across a room or recognizing a face, to be almost impossibly difficult. And that right there is the core of the paradox. Our most basic evolved skills, things like perception, moving around, just common sense, those are the grandest challenges for AI. For a machine, the hard problems are easy, and the easy problems are hard. So, knowing these two blueprints, the detective and the child, what does that actually tell us about the future of all this technology? Well, first, it reveals that AI isn't some incomprehensible magic. It's a technology that's been built on principles we can understand, that have evolved over decades. And second, and maybe this is the most profound part of it all, in trying to build these artificial minds, we're not just building machines. We are holding up a mirror to ourselves, and it's forcing us to confront what makes our own intelligence so unique, so strange, and so special. And that leaves us with the final and really the most important question. Now that the black box is open, the real question isn't what AI can do, it's what we should be asking it to do next.